This time on Woody's Garage, we have the Toro Recycler. Maybe you should just recycle it.
So next up, we have this Toro Recycler, 6.5 horsepower. I got late last fall. It was really cold, but I got it running and I got the drive going. It has an electric start, but the battery, of course, is wicked dead. It has this weird system that, of course, to make things complicated, kind of like as you push, it kind of regulates the speed. And this was stiff when I got it. And it feels loose now, but it might not be loose enough, you know. And another thing I hate about it is you cannot wheel it backwards without a lot of resistance. It's rear-wheel drive, so I don't know if I even popped off those wheels last year, but I'm gonna do it now. Nothing's gonna stop me. Wheel off. This is kind of interesting, huh? A lot of slack. We got a broken tooth. We got this drive here. It looks worn, but looks usable. I can take that right off. Now, this is bizarre. So that goes on there. This goes on this gear here. Now, usually they have an outside gear around here which strips. Imagine what these wheels cost. This feels really crappy. Let's get a little lube on it. This whole thing is so worn out. This one I doubt I can sell. I'll probably have to use it myself. Another problem with this one was it needed a return spring on the throttle because it's just wide open. And I had a hard time. I couldn't look up a spring for this thing. You know, it's just not listed as far as what I could find. So I'm going to have to play a guessing game, I think, and try to make another spring I might have work. I also wonder how bad this missing sprocket tooth is going to be. Okay, this wheel has the sprocket intact. And it looks better. This side definitely looks better than the other side. I'll get a little oil on this. What I noticed is when I put the other wheel back on and I turned the lawnmower around, it still did not want to back up. You know, they make things so complicated. Like, why do they have this system when you could put a throttle on it? You know, it's just so stupid. This wheel certainly moves nice forward. You want to go back? I think it's at the brake from the engine. I don't know. Seems like the engine brake has to be in order for it to roll back, but it still doesn't roll back all that good. For all I know, it's much better than it was. But, you know, I don't know if I'm going to disable this system or what, but one thing we got to find is the spring for the throttle. Let's see what we can come up with. Okay, we took off the facade. In here we see, oh my God, look at this throttle setup. This has it so that the thing is fully cranking. And this should be a spring. And I was reluctant to take it off last year. That is really soft wire too. So we got it wrapped around that thing. And then on the upper post, if you can see it up there, let's take that thing off, leave it the same length, and see if we can find a spring that is kind of like that. Good luck with that. So I brought out my box of old crappy carburetors, and I don't think there's a spring on any of these. I think I took them all off, put them aside, so we got another place to check. Yeah, so this is what I found. This guy was not quite long enough. This guy was a bit too long, and then this, I think, governor vane here. Looks like a snow blower. It's just about the right size, and looks like, you know, it could be shortened. It might be the one, although I prefer to use this one if I can. So let's see how they go. Well, he's the one that was a bit short. It had a, you can see my finger, it came around like this, and then it had another loop on it a little bit at the end. So I just straightened it out and put the small loop on there, the other loop on here, and we're full throttle right now, but obviously, you know, the governor can knock it back now. Feels about right, but I'm guessing, of course. Don't know if there's any gas in this thing, but I guess we should try and see if it works, huh? Okay, we put a little gas in it. See if I can find my gloves. We're gonna take a few pulls. Primer doesn't feel bad, but I don't hear any gas. I don't think the key's only for the starter. Drive wants to go. Shit. Ugh. I had it up on a piece of wood last year. Pain in the ass. So something's wrong there too. You know? You can't even pull start it without the drive engaging. Let me look around. Okay, this thing is moving up and down now pretty good. When I got it, it was stiff. Now, the only adjustment I see is right here, and I think it might be too tight, meaning that it's always engaged. As you push down on this thing, you see that this pushes this way, which would tighten the adjustment. Now, I don't know. Okay, you push on it. I mean, the more you push on it, the more it's in demand for the drive to go. You know, as it backs off, it's less demand. Or it seemed to me that that's what it is. So, the cable feels pretty loose though. I'm gonna see what's going on at the end of this cable. Well, not a shitload to look at. This is definitely the drive shaft right here. You can see it going into those bearings. Plenty of leaves all stuck up in here. And it's got a little gearbox like, you know, like most self-propelled machines have. But geez, you know, you can't readily see the cable. I mean, it must go into this thing, and there's no access to it. You know, I took off the bag, and there's nothing there. Like, what is this piece here? I don't know. You can take it off from the top, but it doesn't, you know, it's just for the bag or where the leaves are, where the grass goes. Oh, this thing is so mysterious. So, I went in another direction. I loosened this nut up, and then I just pushed the handle down. And all this cable came forward about maybe an inch plus out of this hole, and now it moves freely. So let me see if I can start it just like this. Yeah, we took the air filter off and shot a little gas in there. So I'm starting to think this name, Recycler, might be a little more to the name than I realized. It's a piece of shit. Anyway, we popped the pull start cover off. What we're having a hard time with is this mechanism, which goes to the brake. So I pulled off the cover to see if I could see what's going on, because it was just all of a sudden, you know, the engine was locking up, although, you know, you can see the engine itself is not locked up, but the brake is on. So what happened? And now does this mean I gotta pop off the flywheel to look at that? I hate this machine. Like, where does it go? Yeah, you can see the brakes inside there. Jesus Christ. Pain in the ass. So, but then again, I loosened that adjustment for the wheels. So did that have something to do with this? I don't know how. Because this is it right here. And it moves okay. So I got some WD-40, just shot it up under here at the brake. And I've just been fooling around with this, and it seems to, I don't know if I broke something loose or if this is just like gonna go back to the way it was. It even pulls. Let's find out. Starts, huh? You hear anything rattling or anything? You gotta take the oil cap out every time you take off the facade. Okay. So stronger spring. I mean, it should start up. Okay, what would you say the deal is with this? I think the spring is doing its job. You know, it keeps it open when you start up. Then the governor should pull back and close and shut it down as necessary. Like I said, I mean, that kind of feels good. But then again, look how the guy's got the screw. So maybe even like that, it's really wide open. So you never know what origin, like, parts from these pieces of crap machines are from. This should be USA, right? So I tried Torx in here. I tried US Allens and metric Allens, and everything just spins around. And now it looks like it's trash. So I tried to get some needle nose on this to give it a spin. No. So I stuck that original wire on just to hold it down a little bit tighter so it wouldn't be revving out of control. And we'll see where it sits like that. Bear it will start again. The only way I have to shut it off is to pull off the cap, as far as I know. No, I guess I gotta let the brake go. That's better. There's even more comedy besides the recycler. GTS, guaranteed to start, except when it doesn't. So I'm thinking I could set the governor. I gotta figure out how to do that again. I know you do it with it wide open. See, this is Torx here. And then you undo the arm there. Oh, look at this thing. Yikes, it's turning all over the place. It's probably broken, don't you think? I just moved this to the 3 o'clock position from the 9 o'clock position by hand. We'll see if that does it. With no wire on, it's still wide open, like it was. Nope, it still took off like a bat out of hell. So I don't know how I'm going to determine what is correct. There's an air filter. Yeah, that'll work good. What is the correct way for that arm to be? I'm gonna search some YouTube videos maybe and see if I can find out. I think I'll do that. Just button it up for now.